So yeah, like watching my temper, watching what I say and stuff, like it just showed me like words like hurt, like more than action. Like I mean physically, you know what I'm saying? Like physical abuse or whatever. Like words hurt deeper than that shit. And that shit like stick with you, like certain shit that people say. So like yeah, that's just some shit I just never like wanted to go through. So I mean shit, I just found somebody who matched me that, basically went through the same shit and don't wanna go through that shit, so yeah.
All right. Well, Daryl, thank you for jumping in. I want to put the question on you. Tonight's topic is relationship. So the question that we're on right now is, what have you seen and experienced growing up, and how did that play a part in your outlook on relationships? You congratulations, guys. Daryl just got married. Um, so how did that set you up to be in the place where you are? Married now. You're in a committed relationship before you got married. How did growing up, and what did you see growing up that played a part?
Basically, I just learned everything not to do growing up as far as relationships go. So I just did the opposite of what I seen growing up.
Such as, so what's some things you saw that you had to do opposite?
Well, what I learned from my mother is not to try to do everything yourself. And so the only male influence I had in my life was my godfather. And basically, I just literally did everything opposite of what he done. So yeah, that's pretty much how I learned how to handle relationships. And sorry, I'm late too. I'm sorry. I watched football. I was watching football. I forgot all about you was having a show tonight.
You okay? You okay? All right. So, and to kind of before I go to the next question, you know, and it's funny that you say that. Not funny, but metaphorically speaking, they say that. Say, we all came from a single parent household growing up. And like I said, there you recently married. Tay, you guys are engaged. You know, and I'm trying to get to that level in life, that point in life. And it's hard. So, what advice would you give somebody like me? Other than I know you just said do everything opposite, but how do you get to the point of doing opposite of what you saw growing up? Like, what is the advice you would give a person like me? Y'all know my relationship be on the rocks today. It be blissful the next day. So, what's the advice you would give somebody like me going through what I'm going through?
Stop being for the streets, that little damn baker.
First of
You
all,
can't be for the streets.
first of all, first of all, watch. First of all, I'm not for the streets. That may have been me circa 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11. But that I'm past that. I'm honestly past it in life because when you're younger, that type of stuff, that type of thing appeal to you. As you get older, you realize that it's not what it used to be. So you start looking for longevity, substance, stuff like that. And towards help me out, I'm drowning.
You got it.
But okay. So my next question I got is, how does social media play a part in building and maintaining a healthy relationship?
Let me tell you something. I feel like
It shouldn't.
in my woman, we do not know, communicate or post when we post it doing all that. But for the most part, we keep our private life. So we might talk about it, but everybody got to we are only
He said they strongly against putting stuff out on social media, Rachel. And the comment section dead tonight. Y'all got a lot of things up. Y'all jump in these too. But Hey, your outlook on that question.
Huh?
Your outlook on that question.
What you say now?
I said, what's your outlook on that question? How does
What
social
was,
media play a part in building and maintaining a healthy relationship?
say it again? You breaking up.
I said, how does social play a part in building and maintaining a healthy relationship?
How do social media?
How does social can you not hear me?
That that can't social media can't help you build no relationship.
No, I said, how does it play a part in you building and maintaining a healthy relationship? How does it play a part in it?
It don't.
So you don't think that social media can hurt relationships or
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the first thing you run to. Yeah, when you get angry. Social media is some people diaries. So.
true? And Taurus,
It's not an outlet to show the showcase or express your disdain or discontent or what's going on. I do feel like it is an outlet if you want to just share with your actual close friends or over barriers, people, your photos or your outing or be encouraging, things of that nature. But I also feel like how you portray yourself on social media can have an impact on your relationship, especially if your social media portrayal expressions aren't reflective of the person you are in your relationship or you say to be. And to say, oh, it's just social media. No, every social media outlet has a purpose. Facebook is a diary. It's meant to be a diary that connects you with people you haven't seen. Instagram is to showcase photos and videos. Twitter is to express yourself in real time. That don't mean you tell all your business or you use it as a thirst trap or as an opportunity to take jabs. So I think how you portray yourself on social media shares like your subliminal or subconscious self, and you may be portraying yourself to be somebody else in your relationship. So ultimately, if you're like private at home, you don't talk much, you don't tell much, but then you go tell everything to social media, your partner's missing out on something. If you're a bitch at home and you're mean and you're nasty and get on social media, you're Miss America, you live in a lie. I feel like those are the spaces that affect your relationship outside of like going telling all your business. So there does need to be a healthy balance of who you are on social media in comparison to your relationship that doesn't tell the business of your relationship. Like, yeah, date night, cool, share it. A little update from vacation, cool, share it. You want to tell her how much you love, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, cool, share it. But not, oh, this bitch just made me mad. I'm thinking about this or that, or, you know, you don't need social media to weigh in on intimate conversation at home. Now, like little minor fun stuff, like, hey y'all, my so and so told me not to shop or I shop too much. Do y'all think that's true? Okay, that's cool. That's minor stuff, just joking stuff. But the intimate details, the inner workings that could be deal breakers, I don't think that's something you should be consulting social media on. But then again, it just all of that I feel like go back to that foundation of how y'all agreed or what attracted you all and you all decided to move forward in your interaction. So it should not have a role, it should not have a place, but at the same time, if you have them, they are because it's a part of who you are and how the world or people will perceive you. So it can take a toll, but it shouldn't be a defining thing. It only takes that toll if you're living as someone else, especially if it's not for professional or networking or marketing purposes, but from like a social, personal space.
And piggyback on that, I agree with everything. I personally feel like I look at social media when it comes to relationship. I look at it like a poor investment. It's like when it comes to relationship, social media ain't gonna help you, but it can show fuck your shit up. That's damn sure.
Like
Just like
perfect
with
example.
just like with the investment, if it's got a poor return, fuck it with it. That's my stance on that.
Perfect example. People like, I don't post who I deal with on social media. Okay, cool. You have that right. But I also feel like when that foundation solid and you know, even if somebody do slide in their DM, either they not gonna respond or ain't gonna update you, what you have? Flaunt your happiness in their face. Shoot, that's how I feel about it. You know, so you also can't let like your own insecurities stop you from just kind of sharing. Not when I say sharing what you got going on, not like putting it out there like all your business, this is what we doing like from a front, but really just sharing your happiness.
Right.
You might want to share a happy picture in the bed, that's cool. Don't make sure it's in good taste and stuff like that, but also don't let social media hinder what you got going on. At the point, you got to be hesitant about making a post because you feel like people gonna be in your business, they gonna try and slide in the DM or something. Then that should tell
Hold on,
you something right there.
hold on, wait there, Taurus, because that's gonna lead into my next question. I'm gonna give Daryl an opportunity to jump in on that. So, what's your thoughts on that, Daryl?
Are you talking about having your relationship on social media?
Yeah,
Okay, so I feel like the worst thing that you could do having your relationship on social media is compare your relationship to other people's. And
yeah.
so I feel like if you on social media looking at how happy everybody else is, because it's like my cousin Thomas said, don't nobody post their failures on social media. So if you comparing everybody else's highlight reel to your real life struggles, then your relationship is gonna end up terrible anyway. But as far as when it comes to dating and things like that, I feel like social media is really a tool to use that is positive for people who are dating, not for people who are married. And the reason why I say it's positive for people who are dating is because it keeps people honest. And I use this as an example. So if you are a woman and you dating a man that you feel like he for the streets, and then you take little side selfies with his ass while you in the car and shit like that, and you post it on social media, and he all shady. And then he like, nah, girl, why you post pictures of me on the internet? Why you doing that? What you doing that for? Then 9 times out of 10,
Red flag.
side chick somewhere. So I feel like the social media can be used as a positive things if as a positive thing if you're dating, but if you're in a serious committed relationship, it ain't nothing but bad if you're comparing it to somebody else.
Okay, that kind of leads me to my next question is, what are some things that's because I know we talked about things that are acceptable. What's some things that you feel as though is unacceptable to post for committed relationship, married, not necessarily dating because dating, that's but you commit relationship, you're engaged, you're married. What do you feel as though isn't that's unacceptable to post?
A post is in the eye of the beholder. That can vary. Like for example, like let's say I'm on Twitter, right? If I retweet a good looking woman on my Twitter page and my fiance sees it, she's not gonna be upset about it. But I know I got some friends who got women that they do that, they gonna flip all this shit over. So I think that kind of varies between what kind of boundaries you and your partner set, what kind of precedents y'all set.
Do you feel like that's okay?
I mean, it is okay in my relationship, because she do the same shit. I ain't got no problem. But we both real with each other. We both know, is we find other people attractive. So that's that don't really bother us. We don't act on it. That's a whole different ball game. But just saying that I can see someone to get on there and she like, damn, this nigga fine. Shit, all right, cool. Because I'm gonna be like, damn, this girl got a fat ass. It's gonna be the same kind of thing. That don't really bother us. But I know some people that could bother them in their relationship. So I feel like the post is in the eye of a beholder.
That's true. And I'm jumping to say this now, and I agree with that for a small part, because I feel like okay, there's no harm in liking a picture. There's no harm in saying that. Oh, I think this guy's handsome, or I think this girl is beautiful. I don't think there's any harm in that. But I feel like if every time I turn around, you're like, oh, oh, he handsome, or oh, she's beautiful. Like for me, that starts to become a problem because I have no problem with you admiring people. If you scroll through Facebook, you see somebody that's pretty. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful. Oh, she got a fat ass. That's fine. But if it's like continuous, like every day, it's like, oh, she fine, or she got a fat ass, oh, he cute, or or oh, I get it. And I feel like for me then that, and I feel like some people take that as okay, he okay with it, so it's okay if I do something. It's okay if I do that. I just feel like at some point you have to draw a line. That's for me. Like I said, I'm not a stand over you like who you like and who that kind. I don't care about that shit. But if
Yeah.
it's a continuous thing, you got basic friends like, oh girl, look what your man, look what your man doing.
They,
You got
what I
dudes like
say.
I see your girl, liking this all these nigga pages of pictures and stuff. I feel like for me that's when it starts to become a problem. Anybody want to jump in? Wait, hold on. Rachel said, "Don't agree on something or if they cheat, don't put your business out." Okay, Rachel, I agree with that. Don't put your business on social. But I
I
feel
want
like
to
this.
know why Rachel don't like the matching outfits from Old Navy on the fourth and stuff.
I think if it's a good concept, it's cute. Not matching head to toe, but like when you see like the Christmas photos and stuff, I think that's cute when people got the same pajamas on and stuff. I just think some things should not be posted. He's, not Rachel. what I
I do
what I
agree with post decorum.
Rachel mentioned talking about if you sick and you supposed to the hospital. Now I don't that's a different ball game, a different conversation. But I'll say this, Rachel. No, I agree 150% with you. I can't stand somebody put a picture of them in the hospital. Like, okay, you in the hospital. You took enough time to post this on social media. You want somebody to know you could have said something, hey, I'm in the hospital. Hey, what's going on? Like that to me, that's just
So I 100% agree with that, Devin. This is my only little gray area. Some people do genuinely share their story from an inspiration place or to like be transparent when dealing with certain terminal illnesses. Perfect example, like y'all know it take a lot for people with cancer to share their pictures of their journey, be it in a relationship or not. I can deal with that when you're actually sharing a story or the motivation or why you're sharing, but from that angle of sympathy and just kind of carrying on, no, I think that's a bit distasteful because we do get some stuff on social media that kind of open our eyes, to what people are going through or the situations or why we haven't been seeing them or just why they've been shut off, and that's the only like outlet they have for like mass communication. I can deal with that in like a space like that, but we do have people we know abuse social media, um, like the trying finesse, get sympathy, and just kind of go into the narrative of whatever bull they have going on. That's when I feel like it's inappropriate.
okay, and you're right. It's certain points like if all your friends and family, say for example, we all from Florida, but Trey from Alabama, listen, so but it's from Florida. And if you living in California, again that's understandable. But like if it's like every other week, you got a picture of you in a hospital or you laying in the bed, it's like I'm going, this that. Like for me, I feel like you're playing a card to get attention. Another thing, like I feel like it's unacceptable in relationships. You got these motherfuckers on here that want to post like, the niggas want to post with and standing in boxes and boxer briefs and that's watch that's distasteful. Now if you a girl, you got a bathing suit on, a little cute little two piece, that's fine, get it. But just the attention seeking, like you standing to the side, you got your arch out a little bit so your butt can look a little bit bigger. Like I feel like that's that type of stuff is unnecessary. Like that's just how I feel.
I don't have no problem with that.
Why not? Yeah, say it there. Y'all jump in. What do y'all feel is unacceptable to post in a relationship?
But I do got a question for you though. So why do you think that's inappropriate? So like for somebody that's in a relationship, why do you think that's inappropriate? Because like you said, with the little side pose and probably being in your bathing suit and all that good stuff, maybe they are Instagram models for a living. Maybe that's just how they get their bread. They like to get sponsorships and all that and get funded and all that type of stuff. So
Don't
if
get don't get me wrong. Now, if you collecting a check off of it, you know what I'm saying. Like if that's what you do, I can't be mad at you if that's your bread and butter. If you get your sponsorships, you build your fan base up, and that's a way of making money. Then absolutely, I'm not gonna come in between your money, because you're gonna come between me and mine. However, I'm just talking about the ones that just be posting the irrelevant, like you stand in the mirror mouthing the words to a rap song with boxer briefs on. That's just like for me, like
Yeah, that's
why?
inappropriate.
Why?
I
For
think
real.
it's I think it's an intent thing and a frequency. Intent as in, did you do that, just to kind of have fun, let your hair down, and do you not do it often? Because perfect example, there are plenty of husbands like doing, them and their wife go to the beach. They cool with her posting her bathing suit because they're securing the fact that hey, she probably ain't got a lot of male friends and a bunch of men not on her post commenting about her bathing suit. It's probably her girlfriends or college friends, or friends from like life and stuff come in versus knowing his wife got a slew of male friends who gonna come in and treat it like a thirst trap. So I think all of that plays a role. That's some of the stuff where it's like that gray area between how that relationship is and knowing your partner and their intentions of doing stuff, their frequency of doing it. I think those are the things you could, people look at. Like like I know a lot of women right now, they're in relationships and they're into bodybuilding, so, you do see them in a chill set or they, little muscle bikini, stuff like that. And their comments aren't male dominated with the intent to comment specifically on their physique or, with the intent to slide. So I don't see their boyfriends or their husbands like coming or kind of lurking. And based on the frequency or when they post or how they post, it's always in good taste. So I'm only left to kind of like assume they're not getting pushback on the relationship end because it was posted in good taste, the commenting was in good taste, and even the caption was in good taste. Just again like a showcase or an update, or even on vacation you see couples post he got his shirt off, she in her bathing suit. So I think too we can't put it all on the relationship, but we got to also look at that friend list because at the point stuff like that go to going on, and you keeping them kind of people on your friend list, that's something that's gonna roll over into the relationship unless you say something about it like, hey, I need you to chill on them kind of comments. I'm in a relationship. I got a husband, I got a wife, I got a boyfriend, I got a girlfriend. But if you got a frequent commenter and they just still there, at that point, I do feel like this need well, no. I ain't gonna say I do feel like it should be a relationship conversation because y'all might already have that foreground set. Y'all might agree we just gonna ignore it, we ain't feeding into it, whatever. But another relationship may say, "Nah, I need them off that friend list because they know what you got going, and they still do that." And I'm not trying to get in that kind of space, and I don't want to limit what you do on social media. So I think again that's a twofold situation, but I don't want to put it all on the relationship because
Okay.
it's some adults out there who just mad disrespectful, even if you do it in good taste and you don't mean harm by it, you don't post whatever kind of photos or conversations often.
That's how I feel. I feel like now, granted, when you come into a relationship, you gotta be off. But at the end of the day, you know who you with when you get into a relationship. So you coming into a relationship with somebody who used to taking all them kind of pictures and posting them. Who the hell are you to tell them not to do that shit? I personally am one of them that don't give a fuck because you can try it all you want to. I will put calls on it. So I,
But it's like that. Okay, so let me ask them jump on that. Okay, first thing that you said, okay, they were doing it before they got a relationship. So now, were you meaning like they were doing this to make money, just something they were doing before they got in a
I mean,
relationship?
these days, a lot of people just post pictures and put themselves on there. They go to Butacana or wherever they go, and they in bikinis and they take pictures and post. That's almost the norm these days. So I mean, that stuff like that don't really bother me. So you got people who are you know niggas gonna need in the words of one of my good friends, one of my homegirls. Niggas don't need. I don't care. You could my girl can take a picture and well she can have on a goddamn turtleneck and some bell bottoms, and it's gonna get the niggas in the DMs like, hey, what that's what you good, mommy. And so that don't bother me. I feel like when it comes to shit like that, you and your girl gotta or you and your significant other gotta be you know gotta be an understanding and a trust there. But at the same time, know each other, so you know what boundaries, you know, what's a hard boundary from. Like, it might be one thing for you to post a picture of a cake. It might be a whole other thing for you to be on all fours on the beach with your ass up and your face down. You know, it might be a different ball game. You gotta, you know,
But what if they was doing that before I got a relationship?
it's a different ball game. You know, it's some hard boundaries. You know, it's compromise. You know, I think that's what it comes down to.
I agree. But I feel like sometimes, I mean, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like with the certain degree of social media, you're gonna have people who intentions aren't always right, who intentions are always pure. However, it's like, yeah, you got to have a solid relationship. You got to have that trust within each other, but you don't feel like at some point it doesn't. Even if you trust somebody enough not to do nothing, step out. You don't ever think like damn, like these motherfuckers just trying.
Yeah, but I mean, what you gonna do about that? You can't help other people ask you to no, I mean, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I know this is a far out example, but like, you think like get along, man, coming to her like stop posting all this shit. I mean, niggas gonna hop on her shit regardless. You know what I'm saying?
But you look at the exposure she got.
I mean, that's what I know. I said that's a far fetched example. That's a far fetched example. But yeah, I got homegirls in Montgomery, Alabama, who ain't busting a pecan, but niggas hopping in their DM on daily because they'll post something or they look good or whatever. They having niggas just gonna hop in their DMs regardless. And coming into a relationship, if you got somebody like that, so you gotta then you gotta have a certain level of security for yourself and a level of trust for yourself.
Daryl, I got a question for you, Daryl. You think it's fair to ask somebody type of thing? That's what Daryl say.
To ask somebody,
To ask somebody to make those changes. You with somebody, you're posting, pictures. You think it's fair to ask them to not do that?
I don't think it's fair if they were doing that before y'all got together because you knew what you were signing up for.
All right,
But if
okay.
you started doing that after y'all got together, then yeah, you can ask them to stop. In my opinion,
Okay, I'm gonna come back on that. What about you? Okay, so I jump into you. You said if they were doing that prior to you guys getting a relationship, you don't feel like okay, yeah, that might have been what you were doing before a relationship, but you don't feel like being in a relationship. Uh,
so I just use Kim and Kanye as an example, right? So I know they celebrities or whatnot, but Kim was doing her thing before she got with Kanye. But then when her and Kanye got married, had kids, all that type of stuff on their family shit, then Kanye started to get on his religious high horse and tried to get her to join him, as it should be because they a couple. But then Kim was like, "Nah, I don't feel comfortable doing that because this the third thizzle I was on when I got with you, and before I was with you." So you knew what I was about when you got with me. So why you trying to change me now? And so that led to be one of the reasons why they broke up. So I feel like if you know what you're getting into, don't try to change that shit halfway through.
well, I mean,
So
and I know it's just an example, but you got to remember, too, large part that's how you brain. So that's how you're making her money. That's how you're making money. Like, so I think but we can still say definitely helped it down a bit, from what she was posting, before she got married. You have to you should know what's appropriate. on rubbing on your chest and shit, I'm gonna get back with the motherfucking count because you should know better. You should know better. Not
My to a point.
well, you. I, I, however, I feel like it's certain that kind of start like family photos or whatever. You going to come back around, that's something different, But why, like, just unnecessary shit. Cause and sometimes men versus women family because I mean, we don't really stuff, but some niggas look old with no post stuff like that. But but then that's why I do. So thoughts on that? I don't know what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, somebody mic on, and so when you talking, like y'all interfering with each other, so it's like chopping and screwing what you saying. So it's hard to hear what you saying with everybody mic on at the same time. So if they ain't talking, they need to like mute their mic, so that way everybody can hear what you saying.
Okay. It was in towards when he put his mute on his topic. All right. So this is the last question, you know, for the night, and then give everybody the opportunity to speak and say on it, and then we'll knock off. What advice would you give somebody that's watching that wants to build that relationship but doesn't know how to? Well, not necessarily build. What's some advice? Again, Daryl, you're married. Tay, with Tay, you're engaged, but you're all Trey, you engaged. Me and Torch, we doing our thought. I'm in a relationship, and Torch's relationship too, but we ain't engaged yet, so we just saying, but what's some advice you would give to somebody, a young person that might see this live? You know, what's something that you would say to them?
I say, man,
Was that for me?
What I'm gonna give everybody a chance to go around. Let Trey go first. Then
yeah, go ahead.
we'll go ahead,
Uh,
Daryl. Go ahead, Daryl. I'm gonna mute my mic. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just wondering if that's who if you called on me. I didn't hear you call on me, but since it's on me, I don't really have no advice because, well, I feel like we live in a day and age where people don't feel like they can be checked. People feel like they can just do whatever they want to do. So ain't nobody listening to their elders. Nobody listening to people who been through it and then experienced it. Like nobody taking advice. It's everybody for self out here. So if we was in a situation where people were like, if you was in a relationship with somebody and I was in a relationship with somebody, and then you'd be like, hey man, I've been through. I've been down that road before. So what y'all got going on? Y'all might need to chill out on that. And you be like, fuck you, old ass nigga. I don't need to listen to you. You don't know what you talking about, type shit. So yeah, that's why I feel like if we progress, social media has made us progress past the point that people who we interact with every day, that's in our immediate circle that we live around, like the opinions of those people don't matter as much as the opinions and followers that we have on social media. So until we get back to the times and situations where our immediate circle actually their opinions matter more than social media, I feel like we ain't gonna be able to give people advice. Point.
So you want to go? Or you want to towards go ahead and towards your final thoughts on that on this discussion relationship and towards. All right, well Trey, you go.
Sorry. Stay true to thy own self. Love is patient, love is kind, it don't hurt. If it feel right, it's probably not. If it don't feel right, it's probably not right.
It's short and sweet, Trey.
It's all real. Snap to it. Snap to it. Shoot. I would say, man, don't take life too serious. When you get to a point where you're thinking critically about every little thing, like said earlier, you gotta have fun. You ain't having fun with your partner. You know what I'm saying? It lasts too long. And I also say keep it transparent. As soon as you close the blinds up, just know it's gonna go downhill from there. You're gonna have a nosy neighbor trying to peek through them motherfuckers. It's gonna be
I'll just like this. I guess I guess my final thoughts on the topic would be everybody's relationship is unique. Everybody's relationship is different. You know, you'll be having conversations about what we have going on in our lives, but our relationships aren't your relationship. You know, don't ever try to build a relationship off of somebody else's relationship because you may know somebody and have known somebody for years. They've been in a long relationship, you know, long marriage, but you don't always know the struggles that they've been through in that relationship or the struggles that they've been through in that marriage. So don't ever model your relationship off of somebody else's. Don't believe this shit you see on Instagram. Don't believe this shit you see on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. Um, that is a picture. I know iPhones are a little different, but it takes a second to snap a picture. You don't know what happened prior to that picture or what's going to happen after that picture or that little bitty, video they posted. Be true to yourself. Do what you feel is right. And if you have a situation or an issue, don't feel like other people can always give you advice. And sometimes we as black people feel like advice is telling us what to do. That's not the case. Sometimes advice is just advice. Get some advice. If you can take it, apply it. If you can take a certain part from it, take a certain part from it. If you can't take nothing from it, that's okay. Take nothing from it. But don't ever be afraid to ask for, hey Brent, hey Thomas, I see y'all. We're gonna get off. But don't ever feel like you can't ask for advice. Don't ever feel like because you see your homeboy or your homegirl or your cousin or your aunt or your uncle and they seem to be in this happy relationship that your relationship has to be exactly like theirs or your mom or your dad or whatever. Make it right for you. You do what feels right for you. And always just communicate. Communicate is the key to a healthy relationship. And as communication, sometimes you got to understand that people don't always tell you what you want to hear. You got to sometimes be able to take that or criticism or feedback. You've gotten to an age where you can't tell me anything, and that's not the way to be. But that's all I got to say. Thank everybody for joining. Thank the panel tonight, Tay and Taurus, Daryl, Trey. Thank you guys for being on. Thank you guys for joining us. I know we were out last week and it kind of threw people off, but we're coming back. We'll be back next Thursday. Join us, and let's rock it out. You guys have a wonderful week, a safe weekend. Be blessed, be safe, and it's all one love from us. You guys have a wonderful week.